Round 2 of the 2020 Women's Six Nations, and we're back in France to kick off the weekend's action. Sunday we'll see Scotland play England in Glasgow and Ireland take on Wales in Dublin, but our attention is firmly focused on the Stade Beaublanc here in Limoges. It's France against Italy. The home side no doubt keen to banish the memories of last week's loss in Po. As for Italy, well, they come into the second week full of confidence after last week's win in Cardiff. 3 tries scored away from home is not to be sniffed at. Stade Beaublanc, capacity of just over 13,000. They packed them in with the tricolour waving. It'll hold over 20,000 once they've completed more work on it. Home to USA Limoges, a club in Fédéral 1, the tier just below the professional leagues. Safi Ndiaye leading France after having been on the bench last week. Gaël Hermé with the finisher's role this week. And Italy led out by Elisa Giordano. Some fond memories of that spirited performance by the Azzurri in Padova in last year's Women's Six Nations that saw them finish in a record second place. So France are in their technically away strip in the white, just in case you're looking on wondering. But before we get into the heat of the match, it is, of course, time for the anthems. A spirited rendition then. Let's have a look at the teams. Annick Ayrault saw her side disappointed last week, so rings the changes, albeit mainly from the bench to the starting lineup. 8 in all. An all-new front row steps up with NDI alongside the powerful Folani. Julie Annery takes her place in the back row. The midfield is new as well. Perronnet and Condé with Marine Manager on the left wing. No Gabrielle Vernier after she picked up an injury last week. And it's Bourdon and Sansus maintained at 10 and 9 respectively. For Italy, well, just the one change from their win against Wales. Valentina Ruzza given a start ahead of Duca, who goes to the bench. It's a side that features 4 players who play their club rugby in France. Ruzza herself, Bertoni, Fedrighi and Arrighetti. 4 faces who will be known to many of the home side. It's a 93rd cap for record holder Sara Baratin. And English club rugby fans will know Giada Franco, who plies her trade at Harlequins. On the replacements benches, well, Marie-Aurélie Castel is set for a debut in the French ranks, while 5 of Italy's finishers, well, they've got just 12 caps between them. This, you have to say, the area where France are stronger. So the mobile phones have been lit around the Stade Bourbon to create a bit of a visual atmosphere as much as the noise that we've heard. Plenty of youngsters in for this one. They are so good at packing them out in the regions in France. And they've done it again here. That won't be the first time you hear Allez les Bleus ringing around. Our referee is from Scotland. It's Holly Davidson, assisted by Nikki O'Donnell and Catherine Ritchie. Our TMO is Simon McDowell. France then looking for their first win in 2020, and Italy chasing a 10th successive Women's Six Nations victory. We had a little bit of rain earlier, so it might be a little greasy underfoot, but Jessie Tremoulière gets the game started, and Italy with a pretty simple and effective exit. Pretty much back on a halfway for this line out. Go to the back, France. Oh, and then a brilliant line immediately from Morgan Perronnet. Italy did not see that coming. Now they come again through Bourdon. Condé having to check the run and, well, opts to just settle it to ground. What an initial burst that was from Perronnet. Former Stade Toulousain centre. Played a bit at 10 as well. NDI in that wide channel. Julie Annery is used to then lay it back. Now then, ball has popped up a little loose. It's in fact come forwards off a French hand, so Italy will have the scrum.
Guys, square and stable.
Traoré, Thomas and Joyeux in the front row for France. Turani, Bertoni and Lucia Guy for Italy. Spanatin who gets it in. There's not an awful lot of movement to begin with. Italy look to have tried and hooked it back. That scrum has gone well past the 90 degrees, and Holly Davidson says it will be a penalty to the home side. They're going to tap and go quickly. Sansus and Banet in support. France come round the corner. Folani Just tipping it on. Sansus, Bourdon wants it. Condé, Tremoulière joining the line. Marine Ménager bounces off the first, showing good strength. Ménager! Italy might have just done enough to stop her getting over the line. Holly Davidson agrees, held up is the call. So used to seeing Romain Ménager in the position of number 8, making the yards, but they are twins. And although Marine is a back 3 player, she was showing every bit of strength to try and get her way to the line. Early knock on the door from France. Ménager getting that start in front of Caroline Boujard. So a sense of scrum dominance from France on the Italy put in now. Are they going to try and squeeze and take this much further? The front row's gone down, so they've got a penalty advantage. Sansus, Bourdon trying to find Condé. Check the run back inside. Italy have just got enough to stop it on the first occasion. There's a player down for Italy from the scrum, who is leaving them with 14 currently. Sansus has had to have a good dig for that. That is Romain Ménager. Sansus asking questions of Italian players, not rolling away quick enough. Holly Davidson not interested in that just yet. Beatrice Rigoni is calling Italian players over to that side, but France have gone straight through the middle. Audrey Folani didn't need the invitation. France have the game's first try. You can see Folani arrive there. There's no one in front of her, is there? Poor defence from Italy. Good opportunism from Folani. She started the game back in Padova in March last year. She'll be pleased to be drawing first blood. Tremoulière adds the extras, and France have a 7-point lead. Simple as that. Baratin. It's a really nice restart. That has just hung perfectly for her forwards to chase. It may have been Franco who got the tap down. Now Italy get going with Silvia Turani. Made her debut against France 3 years ago, Turani, then Rigoni. Distinctive yellow scrum cap. Baratin, Franco, accompanied by Fredrighi.
Released and picked back up.
Baratin, Rigoni. Able to come through the middle, but wasn't quite on for Ruzza. Rigoni, boot to ball over the head of Tremoulière, and that'll skip nicely into touch over in the French 22. Saw France look pretty dominant at scrum time against England last week. Talk over the course of the week in various quarters as to whether they were given as much advantage off that dominance as perhaps they might have done during the game.
Into the line out. In. Into the line out.
We'll go to the front of the line, but it's Annery again who is the receiver. She's wearing the 7 on her back, just like
Back.
Skipper Gaël, who is on the bench and so often used as the line-out option. France with the clearance from Tremoulière. The ball has just bounced up. Need to get their hands on it, which they do. Vittoria Astuni Minuzzi, one of the newer faces in Italy's back three, earning just her second cap. Turned 18 in December. Sansus, so no one at the back, and the chase is on here. Italy need to be clever. It's a big hit from Anari, who was chasing up. Fedrighi is over it. Rigoni has gone in at scrum half. Bannerton now there, outside the 22, so Rigoni won't want to kick this one straight into touch, but the ball's been actually touched off a French hand, so that will work out for her quite nicely. It's a sound enough clearance, and Italy will have the put in.
Girls, line is yours. Okay? Thank you.
Julie Anari, busy at set piece and busy on the loose. She was the first one up in that kick chase. Italy line to the skipper, Giordano. Rigoni in the middle. Oh, the little reverse ball back inside. It was a no-look pass, but there was nobody there. First one to see it was Romain Ménager. France with key turnover possession.
The pass has gone forward by blue. It's white scrum.
In fact, we're coming back for a forward pass.
Yep. Okay. Perfect, thank you. Okay, height. Height up, okay.
Bit of continuity in the half-back selection. Sansus and Bourdon selected to start together again for the second time. It's been an area that Annika Rowe has tinkered with quite a lot. Comfortable one for Ménager to hold at the back. And Sansus gets it away. They managed to milk the advantage out of the referee as well, and the kick over the top is for Marine Ménager to chase. Holly Davidson says that's not advantage enough, given the penalty that she saw at scrum time.
Under pressure.
What's the decision going to be for France here? Will they decide that they're happy with the opening 10 minutes to keep plumping for a little more? Or is it time to get some points on the board? No, it's going to be the former. Oh, or is there a change of plan here? No, we're going to go for the posts. Jessie Tremoulière, I think, thought about sticking it in the corner, but maybe Safi Ndiaye, with all of her experience, 72 caps worth, said, let's just get a first three if we can. Another three, I should say. Beautifully done. No problem from Jessie Tremoulière. It's 2 out of 2. And it takes France up to 10 points.
Yep, when you're ready.
Italy have a few questions then to answer at scrum. If they're going to avoid being on the wrong side of Harley Davidson's whistle all evening. Sansus, Bourdon, Ménager. Sansus with quick ball again. Bourdon, Condé opts to straighten. And Tremoulier outsider, but takes a few yards. Bourdon, little snipe herself. Wants a scrum half. It's not the tidiest of balls, but Forlani has tidied it up.
Not a ball off feet now, thank you.
Marine Ménager over from the left wing. Running into Elisa Giordano, but managed to do enough.
Okay, use it 9.
Sansus wants a bit of protection. Downfield it goes. Taken by Ostuni Minuzzi. Italy present. Back down the short side they go. Franco barging our way through. Italy so far having to fight harder for each of the meters that they're making. But they are a side that will keep the ball and happily keep doing that. We saw that in Padova last year, and then the breakthroughs come. Now then, that's good work through the hands to find room on the outside for Maria Magatti.
No, release, White, your second player.
Scored the second try against Wales last week, Magatti. Thought she might have scored after half an hour, but wasn't awarded. Oh, and this is going to be a strong turnover for France.
Holding on.
Italy unable to get there in numbers enough.
Okay.
No. Ball just goes out. Just as well, because Ilaria Araghetti is missing a boot. Just had it returned to her by Cyril Banet. It was right up the other end.
Perfect. Time's off, girls. One of your player yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Big hit in there from Anare, wasn't it?
Time's off. Okay, thanks, Catherine.
Araghetti then, one of those who plays her rugby in Rennes in France.
Good. Thank you. No problem.
To the right there, Ivan Savanka, tournament director for the Women's Six Nations.
Time on.
Valentina Ruzza, one of those on the Italian side that plays a rugby at Stade Francais, will know likes of Jules Anary pretty well. France then on the 22.
Maul.
Bring it down for the maul. Start to get a bit of movement on it, but Sansus wants the chance to go herself. Plays it away from Ménager. There were enough Italian shirts there.
She didn't knock it on.
France had the pile of numbers in there just as they thought they might get quick ball. Sansus acknowledged intelligently that she had to stay there and keep it secure, as did Bourdon. Two half-backs acting like a couple of flankers in that scenario. But now it is a little looser. Better angle infield. Italy trying to get in there and force the turnover, but it's loose again. Sansus, Bourdon, Condé, Tremoulier, out to the right-hand side. It will be the try for Banet. Beautifully worked from France. And that's a bit more like it. The initial run from NDI, dragging in a few defenders, and then they were able to put a bit more width on it. Nothing that Vittoria Ostuni Minuzzi could do. 2-on-1 effectively in the end. Needed finishing, and Banet on the spot to do so. Began as an inside centre, Cyril Banet. Apparently just to keep her dad happy. Seems to be doing all right on the wing. That's another one for the scrapbook. 9th try for France, for Cyril Banet. Tremoulier. Oh, that looks good as well. Brilliant from the fullback. Outstanding conversion. And the typical stoic face from the former World Player of the Year. Provides the try-scoring pass and adds the extras. Worrying times for Italy then, inside the quarter of the match. France are, well, running at a point a minute, aren't they?
Off feet now.
Nico Rowe will have wanted a response from last week. Nice footwork from
Advantage knock on.
Ndiaye. Italy nearly with a chance for Sara Baratin to intercept that, but it just went forward. So knock-on advantage being played. Sansus gesticulates to where she wants it. She's a virtual mime artist, Laura Sansus, in terms of how she expresses herself over the course of a match. You know exactly where France are based on how she interacts at the back of each ruck or looks to the referee.
Tackle made.
Ball over the top. It was touched by Ménager.
Deliberate.
She was trying to get her hands on it, but Holly Davidson says it's deliberately gone forwards, at least to stop the ball getting to the outside channel. Penalty only. And this could be a chance for Italy to make a bit more headway into the French half.
Thanks, Nicky. Girls, the line is yours, okay? The line is yours.
Step one of the line out complete. Now Italy break. Baratin. We're going to go up through the middle. Magatti. She can shift. She's powerful as well. Franco tips it on. Italy nearly creating the hole. Really solid drive back from Turani. Held on to the ball well. Rigoni. Conde had completely committed herself there and ended up hitting no one at all. Now Rigoni, oh, lovely ball just under the arm, but didn't work out. France have got their hands on it instead. Just went forwards. But you can see the sense of ambition from Italy when they get to the French 22. Haven't had a chance in the opening nearly 20 minutes, but since given a few more chances, they may threaten.
Stay, girls.
They will threaten. 3 tries away from home against Wales last week will tell you they will. Clearance from Tremoulière. Ball bobbling down the touchline, but it hasn't gone in. Some sensational clearances last week in Pau. Double hit from the French. Oh, but it's a penalty.
You must release.
Players not releasing. One of the French players there is on the floor. Marlies Traoré just took a bit of a knock in the tackle. She stayed down as Italy don't hang around. Played away from Ruzza.
Advantage, knock on.
Carry from Arrighetti, but at the minute Italy are not helping themselves with these handling errors. Tremoulière goes in at scrum half. Now they're going to put a little bit more on it. Bourdon, Conde, she might fancy a little bit of a run here, but instead she gives it away to Marine Ménager, who cuts back in field. Got away from 2 tackles, but eventually scragged enough by her opposite number, Magatti. And it's away through Perronnet. We saw Gabby Vernier leave the field last week. It prompted a second half resurgence from Camille Boudot, who was sensational for France, but their completion in the 22 was simply not good enough. Boudot, who's not part of the 23 this week, but France trucking along just nicely.
Back foot.
In goes Perronnet. Sansus waits. Away for Bourdon. Little stuttering run. Where's she off to? Italy just unable to quite get there early enough to force the turnover here. There goes Perronnet. away from Caroline Thomas. The man manager has just taken a knock there, as you can see. Forlani, so strong. He's in a battle with Michaela Solari to try and rip it away, but now Bourdon has chipped it into the 22. Didn't sense another option. Little show of the boot from Magatti. That's nice from the right winger. Makes 10 metres out of the 22. Opted out of clearing it with the boot, and now Rigoni thinks she might have just spotted a little passageway to dink it through. Oh, and it might have then come off a French hand. Indeed it has. Italy will have the line out. Untidy from Banet. See what she was trying to do.
Yeah, you just open the gap as well. Thank you. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
The various players who were taking a moment or two. We are still at our full complement. Nicely done by Italy for Giordano. Now Rigoni, first phase ball. What have Italy got here? Try to come round the back. France had just seen it in time. Capomaggi not quite able to make it work. There's a real battle going on. Berrettine sends Rigoni chasing after Tremoulière. The ball staying in. Rigoni unable to scrag the French fullback, but the follow-up is good enough from Sophia Stéphan. France now having to do some defending with Céline Ferrer taking the first carry. NDI offering herself. She'll be the next one. Then Juliane Henry on her outside. They combine well.
Advantage.
Now it's come away from France on the floor. This is a good position for Italy to try and assert themselves and get some points on the board. Ruzza away for Franco. Pops it up. Got a little bit more width on it. Did well to stay in field there, Solari. Stéphan over from the left. Seems to be playing down this right side now. Solari once more. Off for Silvia Turani.
High tackle, number 7.
Berrettine again.
9, you have
Trying to put a bit more width on it to ask a few more questions of France in the wider channels. It didn't work out that time. France are coming through, but Holly Davidson will bring us back for the scrum advantage. Beatrice Rigoni, she has a hand up. She maybe has a question at the back of the class.
Number 1.
Perhaps we're back for, I think, that penalty advantage for that high tackle.
Post called.
Conversation's gone on. Rigoni is well, still stood there with the ball, wondering if the call was made to go for posts.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Thank you. Have you got me?
Yes.
Great.
Either way, it's Solari to get Italy on the board. .31 points in the 2019 Six Nations. Time to open her account in a hostile Stade Bourbon. Nicely struck. Italy onto the board then. France 17, Italy 3 through the boots of Solari. Secured 11 points in the win against France in Padova. Tremoulière going from mid-range. Ménager getting after it, but is not going to beat Elisa Giordano to the ball. Solid hit from Maëlys Traoré on the Italian skipper. Roots are finding herself at scrum half a fair bit. Rigoni threw a fairly heavy pass into Melissa Bertoni then, but she dealt with it well. Rigoni again goes a little deeper, but Roman Ménager was in a good position and plays it to her fullback. Now we're with the other Ménager. This is Marine stepping through, and the volume goes up as they see the winger stepping past a few Italian defenders. Tremoulière runs it forward. Oops, has maybe taken a bit of a knock there. Magatti comes away with it in the meantime. Baratin. It's there for Turani. Plays it away to her front row colleague, hooker Bertoni, over the halfway line. Rigoni waits for it, has Franco outside, who will receive it now. Little juggle from the Harlequins flanker. Rigoni again, plucks it with one hand and then just dinks it through. That could be a very, very nice kick indeed. Oh, it hasn't quite found touch, but Italy are there in number to put plenty of pressure. Banet's done exceptionally well with 3 or 4 blue shirts on her. And now Sansus, she loses it forwards. Perhaps needed a more conventional clearance there. Italy will have the scrum. And what about that from Beatrice Rigoni?
Time off. You okay? Shoulder. Time's off.
Look at the pressure here. 3 blue shirts on Cyrielle Banet. The winger doing exceptionally well. A bit more tape needed for Audrey Fulani. And some ice and magic sponge work for Lucia Gai.
Thank you.
Began rugby as a centre. Used to also play a bit in France at Rennes. Now with the Val Sugano Rugby Club in Padova.
Italy, okay. Number 4? Change it? Yeah. Four? Number 4? Why? Why? I'm not sure. Okay, sorry.
So some communications come on.
Yeah, no problem.
And Valentina Rutzer, I think, has been requested for an HIA.
They just turn it,
Yeah.
and our number 3 can't go up.
Yeah.
She is gesticulating back to Holly Davis, and I don't know that the communication has been too clear to Valentina Rutzer, the reason that she's having to leave.
Oh, non ce ne andiamo da qua senza punti, Punti!
Giordana Duca
Okay,
will
time
come
off.
on.
Dai, andiamo Luci! Andiamo!
Girls. Question mark. Square. Always square.
Adesso, raga, non buttiamo palloni qua, andiamo noi! Raga, noi non molliamo mai!
Crouch.
Portiamo la destra!
Bind.
It was a decent passage of play that got Italy up to this position. And it's been a bit stop-start in terms of them wanting to continue that momentum.
Same ball. You must hold the push before the ball comes in. Okay? So,
Harley Davidson
stability.
is going to get this one
before the
reset.
ball. Okay? Same scrum.
French 8 are absolutely licking their lips to try and push Italy off this ball. The Azzurri know, with the hugely experienced Sara Baratin, that this is a case of get it in and get it away.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Oh.
There is an initial shove. Italy hold firm. Giordano then away for Baratin. Pops it up nicely for Stefan. Oh, and loses it forwards in the tackle as Condé brings her to ground. Solid defence from France. Bourdon. NDI.
Stay back.
Given that spell on the bench last week.
Advantage over.
Tremoulière with the clearance, but that's just gone straight to Ostuni. Comes forward, looking to try and find a gap. There was a double Ménager hit. Carried forwards from Guy.
Stay back.
France advancing up to Fadrighi as she tries to make some more yards. Italy not crossing the gain line immediately. Turani just about manages to and presents it back. Safi NDI with the big tackle. France have got turnover ball through it as well. Anari, Bourdon, and then it's away for Banet again. Giada Franco trying to come across and make the tackle, but Banet too fast. Giordano can't catch her either. Cyril Banet is going to get away for a sensational score from France's 22. What a run from the winger. A 10th try for her country and taken in some style. Combination of the France second row, NDI and Forlani gets it out the back to Romain Ménager, then Anari straightening, that was critical. Thought Franco would do enough. Giordano comes along, but then Banet just kicks into an extra gear, round the outside. What a try.
Simon, if you can have a look on how tackled it. The TMO's checked everything, it's all good. Thank you. The what, sorry? No, Simon said all good. Yeah.
Tremoulière with the conversion takes her personal tally to 9 points. Takes France up to 24 now. Good left-hand fend. In and out. And she's gone. Super try from France. And Italy, well, visit to the 22, turnover possession, and all of a sudden they're back under their own posts. Maintaining an attitude of, yes, we can in this game is now going to be Italy's biggest challenge. Trailing as they are by those 3 tries.
Hold
All converted. Oh, and that is a handling error that Italy could ill afford. Just on her second cap. It's no Manuela Forlan, of course, who played 15 in this fixture last year. She's just a high school student, is Ostuni Manuzzi.
Okay.
There's a rugby in Padova.
So feet underneath. Feet underneath. Okay. So not overextend.
Just feeling the
Get your
pressure a
binds
little.
higher. White scrum.
The rate France have been scoring. They will be thinking about the 4th try and the bonus point before half-time.
Crouch! Bind! Stay nice. Use the ball.
Davidson says to use it. Bourdon, miss pass for Condé. Condé straight to Tremoulière. And then the ball away for Marine Ménager, wanting to test Ostuni Manuzzi. She was equal to the tackle. Really good stepping up from the Italian fullback, having just Made the unforced error. Now they go again. Bourdon wanting to get it away. Thought for a moment there might be the interception from Bertoni, and they get it again out to that right-hand side.
Advantage, high.
There's an advantage being played for the high tackle. Bourdon is just enjoying keeping things ticking over. Runs around the corner again. Will want it from Sansus, but she's going to go back the other side. Banet chips it through. They're wanting to cause more problems for the Italy fullback.
Advantage.
It's clearly a strategy, isn't it? Looking to test the inexperience in the cauldron
High.
of a France home game.
High tackle.
Julian Henry tearing after that. But France have the penalty. Tremoulière then. They'll stick it into the corner this time. And Italy have some stout defending to do.
Okay, yep, that's you. Get the girls on you. Thank you.
Thomas looks to try and go to the tail, but it was just over Henry. Italy have got their hands on it. Baratine, Rigoni. Really good clearance. Standard of kicking in the women's game has gone up so much in the last few years. Katie Daly-McLean, one of the world leaders for England, but the likes of Beatrice Rigoni,
Keep that gap.
Jessie Tremoulière,
Captain.
these players are stepping up. Sansus, Bourdon wants to try and send Ménager through by just delaying that ball, giving it to her flat right on the line. Now Sansus back to the right. Tremoulière, of course, offering herself as another first receiver alongside Bourdon to give France that two-sided attack. It's Bourdon again. Ménager, the number 8. Oh, it's well wrestled away. That was beautifully done by Giordano. Rigoni might have wanted to keep that one in hand. She's rushed it and cleared it straight to touch from outside her 22, so we come back. Not too happy with herself as a result. Look at this from Giordano. Nicely smuggled away.
Okay. Girls, block them. Yeah, take a step. France, in.
No, that sense that the
In.
French are in possession. Our players were probably up, no one at the back, but execution didn't come to pass. In again from Caroline Thomas. France engage at the back and start to get a rumble on. Italy haven't put too many numbers in to begin with, just standing off it. And France will take the meters as long as they do. Now NDI breaks. Bourdon got it away brilliantly. Marine Ménager joins the line from the left. Now it's away once more. Tremoulière thought she might be away. It's a solid tackle from Silari, hauled her down by the arm. NDI, France sensing this fourth try. Sansus wanting to go herself, but Tony, one of those who nails it.
Thank you.
NDI goes in to help provide a bit more protection. Bourdon is ready to slip back to her former 9 position. Plays it away for Marine Ménager, for Roman, I should say. Lucia Guy has taken a knock, but Tony struggling to get back to her feet as well. NDI, it's a relentless white wave at the minute. Clara Joyeux was waiting for it, but her fellow prop Traoré came around the corner. Bourdon, miss pass from Condé out for Marine Ménager. She's really becoming a consistent option, but Italy get themselves into a good position over the French winger and force the turnover.
Holding on.
5, 4, 3, 2.
If Rigoni knew where the clock was, you might consider tapping and kicking this one into touch, but she's just got one eye on playing.
Line's yours, girls, okay? On the line. Okay, same message, and we get.
Last moments of the first half then. Some of Italy's players are feeling this first 40. Tap down.
Outside arm. Captain, scrum.
That has not gone well from an
Scrum or
Italian
line-up?
perspective.
Scrum calls.
Okay.
Time off.
Line out not straight. Bertoni, well,
You okay?
she was good enough just to make the line out, but
Yeah, on that.
I
It's
think
just
she's
on your outside arm.
got a
okay?
bit of an injury
So
in that
that's it.
shoulder area, and that was probably inhibiting her ability to get that one in. So close to half-time now. Bit of Julie Annery in action. Pauline Bourdon as well. It was a mismatch.
Okay? Okay. Time on. Yep. White scrum. Yes.
We have Giulia Cerato on the bench.
Scrum last time.
Only got
Good.
a couple of caps compared to
Good
the
scrum last time.
55
Same.
that Bertoni has.
Same scrum, okay? Good.
Scored the first try against Italy last week. Against Wales last week, I should say. Another one ruled out.
Crouch! Bind!
Well, Italy's error has given France another invitation to go for the fourth try and the bonus point before half-time. Bourdon. Tremoulière. Oh, nicely done on the wraparound from Perronnet. Gave the first pass and was there to receive it from Tremoulière. Bourdon. Forlani. Sansus. Bourdon again. Condé did brilliantly to leave that and allow it to bounce through for Safi Ndiaye, and now France are going again with Clara Joyeux. The prop will take the meters this time. Ndiaye, Condé.
Knock on in the tackle.
Knocked forwards in the tackle. France will get the chance to continue playing with that advantage. Romain Ménager sees a bit of space to run into. Tackle was really solid from Capomaggi. Solari comes bursting up, sensing a chance to try and get the interception. France go again through Sansus, goes backwards. Condé
Off feet, no,
picks
no,
it up
leave
to tidy
leave
it up.
alone.
Have Italy
Off,
turned it
off,
over?
off.
No.
Back 12.
They might have done
Onside.
momentarily.
Thank you.
Sansus encourages Traoré just to come a little bit nearer. Didn't quite have the momentum when she received it. Bourdon, only 2 to her outside, so Bourdon recognising that she needed to just step and come back in. Sansus perhaps needed to go the other way, which he does now. Bane in from the wing. Ndiaye with the pick, needs to find the support, which she does from Sansus. Ball is loose on the floor now.
Advantage, knock on by Blue.
Another advantage for France. Tremoulière lays it back. Bane will play scrum half. Romain Ménager, little dummy to Ndiaye, was sensible to hold on to it as Italy came flooding through. Fulani. Ferrer was charging through, but now Condé flings it away for Marine Ménager. We know she's got the strength and power. It was good from Magatti. Energy-sapping stuff as far as Italy are concerned defensively.
Ball's out.
France looking to just find that ultimate chink in the armour. Condé with the dummy and step back. Bourdon tells Ferrer to just get out there, then the one-off runner. Now they come back again. Perronnet, oh, and the interception. And Italy have got the chance to streak away here. It's a right old race. Sarah Baratier is showing that she can still do it at the age of 33. The smile says it all as France look for the fourth try. Italy score their first. Well, how about that? Hands on hips from the French players. The first half won't finish with a try bonus point.
Thank you.
Baratin, she looked cooked here, didn't she?
Thanks very much.
But she managed to stay in it.
Try's good.
Banet was just too far away to close it down. Gets a little bit closer to the posts.
TMO's checked and she's onside, okay? Thanks.
Debut against Germany in 2005, Sarah Baratin. And she'll enjoy that one. Made the break for Italy's second try last week. She's scoring their first this week.
It's still your time, Holly.
Thanks very much, Simon.
Cancelari get them to double figures. She can indeed. Well, the half-time whistle is blown just as France were building their assault to go in with a relatively error-free first half in terms of the game plan. Italy managed to notch one back on the board. France still heavily in control, but it's made things a little bit more interesting ahead of the second half. Half-time, it's France 24, Italy 10. What will England do here? Hunt for Daly McLean. Little switch back inside for Emily Scarrett. Nearly looked like it was going to work first phase, but now it's Harrison, now it's McKenna, and away for Abby Dow, and England have their first score.
Good score. I mean, the French defence had been really tight, hadn't it? But it was going to happen at some point. The scrum looked a little bit creaky initially, actually, from England, but they got the ball out. France just ran out of defenders, didn't they?
England will go again. It's to Hunter. Oh, and it's got going pretty quickly here. It looks like there's only going to be one answer to it. It's the try for England. I think it's Vicky Fleetwood, is it? Sarah Hunter bringing it down. Front row able to provide the power. Sosha. France wanting to show us what they can do from the rolling ball internationally in the men's and women's games. It's so difficult to defend. Then the carry from Da'ai. Ruan Prop, who was switched to the other side of the scrum, having been playing on the loose head through the autumn. Fall is there as an option. Joining her is Fulani, but we're going with Gaël Hermé, the skipper popping it up for Sansus, and the French creating something from nothing. How about that?
What a response from France. And you could just feel the energy of this crowd. I think actually all the hairs on the back of my arm have gone up. It's just quite an incredible atmosphere at the moment, and the French team seem to be lifting from that. Great picks through the middle. There's always quite often a gap there. It's not defended behind the breakdown. Great break from Hermé, and Sansus right on her shoulder. Ever elusive. That was brilliant by France.
Fire it deeper for Tremoulière. Puts a good boot through it, but this is just an invitation for someone like Sarah McKenna, who is trying to call the shots as she gets the run on and then finds Scarrett. But Boujard was well positioned to line up. England's outside centre. Beckett on the shoulder. Does she take out a player? It's then given away to Sarah Byrne. England not going to stop to ask the question. Sarah Byrne all the way to the line. You can hear the question mark in the whistle. Yeah, I'm not sure this one's going to stand.
No, it's not, is it?
No. She wasn't in a realistic position to receive the ball, so it's obstruction straight away. Time back on.
Katie Daly-McLean now for England. Amber Reid. Oh, the lovely offload for Emily Scarrett. And Scarrett's trying to scream all the way to the line, and she will. What a score from England. Amber Reid and Emily Scarrett combining. My goodness me.
Lovely clean ball from the line out. But what an absolutely fantastic offload from Amber Reid. Takes 2-3 players out, and Emily Scarrett just direct running. Bouchard doing her best to get to her. Determination on her face.
Crouch! Sink! Bind! Sit!
Oh, but England are penalised at the scrum once again. Now, you would think from this position, it's time to go for post, would you not?
I think they have to go to post. It looks like that's what they're doing.
Job done. The band are giving it all they've got, but the clock is ticking towards the 80. Sarah Hunter with the carry. Time is up. Riley fires it back for Katie Daly-McLean, who boots it into the stand for a memorable win for England on French soil once again. It's a 5th straight win. A 2nd consecutive win as far as the Women's Six Nations are concerned. And England get off to the defence of their Women's Six Nations Grand Slam title in admirable style in Po.
From Cardiff Arms Park, your commentary team, Philippa Tuttiett and Simon Ward.
Forwards are there. Rigoni puts it out into the back line, though. The offload is there for Magatti. Magatti's turned turtle. Whoa, that is terrific defence if that is not a try.
Fantastic tackle there by Hannah Jones. Just on the edge, you know, she's not too high. She gets around the top half of the player, wraps up the ball, and then uses her momentum to flip the player
so
onto
stay with
her.
your on-field decision, please.
No try held up, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, fine.
Barrettine gets the runner. Rigoni goes straight from A to B. Wilkins sticking to her task. Forwards coming around the corner. Jada Franco.
Hands up, Reds!
Sent back by Lillicrap, but here comes Bertoni. She was stopped once, she's not going to be stopped again. And Italy do get the try before half-time that they crave. Bevan out to Crab, lovely little offload to Keris Hale. Working her way through is Hannah Jones. Hannah Jones drives for the line. And that is a huge try for the hosts. And Wales force their noses back in front. That is a cracking conversion from Wilkins, taking her team into double figures. Franco. How many times have we seen this from Jada Franco?
Leave it, Reds! Let the ball
Again,
go.
Italy not going too wide, looking for that thrust close up. Here's another pot of Italians, and again, they are not going to be stopped.
A foot coming in from Paige Randall. If you just see there, she stretches out her foot as well.
Well spotted. Jada Franco winds things up once again. Barrettine with the spot. Barrettine against Randall. Goes past her. Oh, great pull down there. But the try is there for Italy. Barrettine, he was who made the headway and set up the position. They're under the cosh. Giordano has the ball and has the advantage. Out to Stefan. Stefan's through, and Italy have got their third try. Solari with the conversion, swings it over, and Italy take a 2-score lead. Crabb, the line-out caller, calls to herself. Jones comes in to take the ball and drives for the line. Kelsey Jones gets her first try for Wales at such an opportune moment. Wales are back in this one. Into the last play of what has been a titanic match in many ways. Barrettine just wants another forward to do another half yard. The clock's in the red. Barrettine to Rigoni. Rigoni sends the ball down to Culverhouse Cross. And it's Italy who take another win in Cardiff. They've done it in 2018. They've repeated the feat 2 years later.
Est-ce que vous êtes prêts à accueillir notre équipe de France? Est-ce que vous êtes prêts à accueillir notre équipe de France? Oui! Les arbitres sont là. Allez, tous les drapeaux, tous les drapeaux. Allez, face à l'entrée des joueurs, toute la tribune. Là aussi, les drapeaux levés. Allez, avec le retour de l'équipe d'Italie. On peut applaudir très fort également aux amis italiennes. Attention, on va se préparer. Supporter de l'équipe de France, ici, à Limoges, avec le retour de l'équipe de France. Allez, tous les drapeaux. Allez les Bleus! Allez les Bleus! Allez encore plus fort! Allez les Bleus!
14 points the difference between the sides then at the start of the second half.
Advantage, Nico.
Italy with the restart. Those of you just joining our coverage, Italy are playing in the blue. France in the white. It's not affected the screams of Allez les Bleus. Sara Barrettine's interception, length of the field score, taking Italy up to double figures.
Advantage over. White hold, one.
Sansus sliced that somewhat. It's taken down by her opposite number. Franco. Put on for Fadrigi. Franco again. Just needed a bit of support on the shoulder. Turani. A little bit more depth. Brilliant left to right pass from Rigoni there, and Stefan. Silari. The scrum half roll. Needed to put a bit of elbow grease behind that one. Good low carry position from Valeria Fadrigi. placement
Advantage, knock on.
with the knock-on. Sarah Tunesi, 24-year-old, just unable to quite hold on to it. Conde
Advantage over.
almost got in a one-on-one scrap with Sarah Barrettine there, opted to just offload it, see if someone else was in a bit more possession, bit more of a position to make something happen. Big hit in the tackle. Holly Davidson doesn't like it. Let's have a little look. Yeah, it doesn't quite come down on the head, but there's certainly a bit of shoulder involved. Lifted up a bit too much. So incidentally, with Italy's points on the board, 26-minute penalty from Michaela Silari. Actually, the first points Italy have scored on French soil for 10 years.
Yep,
Can you believe that? And they got 10 of them with Barrettine's try and the conversion. France still in search of that fourth try and the bonus point.
You've cut out again. 1 second. Okay. PK only. Just over here, thank you. Yeah, bring it up a bit, Katie. Okay, just open up. Oh, yeah. Okay, no.
Could see Sarah Barrettine just having a little word with the assistant on the near side, Katie Ritchie,
Hold her, hold her.
thinking that the ball hadn't gone that far into the 22.
And France in.
Holly Davidson came down and agreed with her and brought the line out just a little bit further away from the try line. Either way, France get the line out right and engage. Giordano thought by standing off it, France couldn't engage the rolling maul, but they have. And quite effectively too. Break from Anna-Marie, there's nobody there, and there is the fourth try. Textbook stuff from France. And for all their toil towards the end of the first half, it comes relatively easy at the start of the second. Nice break from the back. And Italy had no idea where the ball was. She's been a busy bee, has Julie Anna-Marie. Stade Francais player. One of those who will know Valentina Ruzza. She hasn't put a foot wrong. 11 points so far for the boot of Jessie Tremoulière.
Time off, girls. 6.
France with the fourth try and the bonus point.
6. Perfect. Yep. And a check. Okay. Perfect. Hang on.
Tunesi was getting after that, but it's the try scorer Anna-Marie brings it down. France 31, Italy 10. Bourdon, Ménager, Folani. Bourdon again. Lucia Camerano coming onto the field for Italy.
Taken back.
Tremoulière
Hold.
has kept that one in field. Stuni Minuzzi back in for Sofia Stefan, inviting Tunisi to take it straight up, which she does. Duka. Fedrighi. Baratin. Franco. 3 French players shut the door on Jada Franco. Baratin, Rigoni. Played a bit of 12 as well, Rigoni, of course. Not afraid of making the physical carry when needed. Really talented footballer as well. Fedrighi once more, but the French defence is strong. Romain Ménager.
It's your own player.
Getting around the ankles. Franco nearly got isolated. Italy sent the cavalry in pretty quickly when they sensed France might be wanting to turn that over. Tunisi straight into some busy carrying since she's been on. Rigoni, nice pass out the back. Capomaggi joining things. Just a 3rd cap for Beatrice Capomaggi, the Italian inside centre. Then it's Magatti. Italy working hard here, but you've got to pay tribute to this French defence at this stage.
No. Your second player.
France counter-ruck. Holly Davidson has just turned her back a moment. Camerano. Rigoni trying to get in there and take it out. Goes for the little dink over the top, recognising nobody's just there. There's no kick chase from Italy, though, because it took a while for Cyril Banet to deal with the bouncing over ball. Could have been an opportunity to put the pressure on. Bourdon is stepping deeper and deeper, but it's going to be Tremoulière. Goes upfield. Stefan has Ostuni Minuzzi inside. Ostuni plays it away. Tunisi. Franco. Picks into Ménager. Harness the energy in that collision. Probably power the whole of Corsica. Rigoni, Italy in possession, have gone backwards here. I think Holly Davidson spotted that drop ball, but arguably went backwards. Rigoni. Has she overcooked that? She has. France will have the line out. And it will not have escaped your attention that that was a couple of minutes of solid Italian possession. We've probably lost about 20 metres.
Okay, you stay on the
Samuel
mark.
Charouk and Annick Hérault, the French coaching team, will be pretty pleased with what they've seen.
Okay, France. France. Last time in. Next time, free kick.
Holly Davidson beginning to find her patience, tested by the French, not committing to the line out, arriving too late. They have the ball here. Sansus onto Bourdon. Banet. Score of that wonderful try in the first half. Bourdon. Condé stepping back in. Got several minutes in last week's game. Gabby Vernier, who had an HIA, had to leave for 10 minutes in the first half. She was back on for all of about 5-10 minutes before she did her ankle, the poor thing. It was a day to forget for Vernier. But Condé got plenty of minutes, and she's getting the chance to start this time. Now then, big moment there. Ball's gone forwards off French player. I think it was Céline Ferrer who was challenging for the ball with the relatively diminutive Sofia Stefan, but Ferrer wasn't able to hold it. Then the little tip on. Baratin. Rigoni wants it.
Advantage over.
Franco was outside. Pops it on for Solari. Again, Italy go backwards. Baratin may think about the boot herself. Rigoni will. That's better from the fly half. Skips it into touch. They'll get some yards, but it will be French possession.
Allez, on vient aujourd'hui et ce soir, mais le seul divine 800.
stadium announcer earning his corn, sensing the atmosphere had gone a little bit flat. Bertoni. Caroline Thomas
18 out. Advantage. Side entry.
gets that in and then gets into the back seat to join Safi Ndiaye. Oh, it's just been knocked forwards though.
18, side entry.
We'll come back though because Tunisi came in at the side.
In at the side. Oh, thank you. Is that yours? Yeah, okay. Okay, no problem. Time off, girls. Time's off.
Seen Italy begin to make the changes, beginning to use their bench.
Number one. So far,
Said at the start of the game that it is the replacements where France are probably a little stronger.
Advantage, knock on.
French line-out is
Advantage over.
struggling this evening a few times. Berrettine, Franco. Try scorer gets it away. Rigoni, French line speed, is putting tons of pressure on Italy. Silari then gets it away. Stefan stepping back in is met by Morgan Perronnet. Turani. Rigoni. Rigoni really wanted quick ball down that channel. There was only Bane there and 2 or 3 Italian shirts, but just a second or two it took to come. Allowed France to just get another number there. Berrettine surveying her options and perhaps taking a little bit too long over doing so. Counter-ruck is causing some problems. It's certainly slowing things down. But the pick taking matters into her own hands. Nicely done from Tunisi. Rigoni. Oh, lovely ball for Silari, and she's in support on the inside now. Beatrice Rigoni. Italy on the break here. Out the back of the hand. Berrettine seizes her hands on the loose ball. And France may have turned this over. Rigoni was waiting to play that down the short side for the previous few minutes. Now, has that gone backwards? We're happy enough it has. The crowd would like a bit more. The second little juggle of the evening we've seen from the young 18-year-old.
Play on.
But Italy won't stop. Now, Rigoni is just loitering down here. Seems to have no interest in getting back into her first receiver position. Berrettine has taken this quickly. Silari in support. Little no-look pass. Now it's gone forwards. Now Italy showing signs that we saw from France last week against England.
Oh yeah, they're back 10. Yeah, knock on.
Not getting up to the French 22 as easily as France were getting into England's 22
Yeah,
last
so you
week,
give
but
them
it was
numbers
then
early
at that
so they have
moment
time
that
to adjust, okay?
we saw 7 or 8 incompletions from the French. Unforced errors at times, and Italy again just as things get a little tighter, they get closer to the line, just succumbing to the pressure.
Yeah. Okay. 7. Yeah. Thank you. Well done. Yes.
So Francesca Scorbini has come onto the field. join the likes of Camerano and Tunisi, who've come off the bench.
Not yet. All good?
It's Jada Franco who takes her leave.
Bien.
Scorbini made her debut in last year's Six Nations match in Exeter.
Time on.
Wait a moment, please.
Just here. Yeah. Okay, first scrum, stability, okay?
England, of course, who
Stability
play
and straight.
Scotland at Scotstoun tomorrow. And it's Ireland, Wales. Continuing round 2 of the 2020 Women's Six Nations. Ireland and Wales, two sides, of course, who are looking for a first win in this year's competition.
Advantage, hinging.
Front row goes down. Penalty advantage being played. Sansus, Tremoulière, Banet. Sophia Stefan stays tight to the tackle. Bounces through. Caroline Thomas. Bourdon. Annery holds it up momentarily, but
No advantage.
come back for the penalty.
Number 1, hinging. Oh, yeah.
Rigoni's done her best there, but not sure anyone was quite buying it.
Good, thank you.
Not only did her feet touch the ground before she threw it back in.
In.
It was a French penalty anyway, and the ball was over the line. But we appreciate the effort nonetheless, Beatrice.
Not straight.
Well, French line,
You want line out?
not straight.
Line out called. Okay, okay.
Italy
Time
make
off,
the call that they would like the line out instead. So Tirani will
Okay.
take over
So
the
1,
throwing
2,
duties,
and 3.
of course, with Bertoni off.
On se place pour la touche en défense.
And number 6.
À 5.
So here come the cavalry then. 1, 2, 3, leaving the field for France. Oh dear. Now then. Well, I'm not sure I've seen that before. Anaël de I think, has just pulled her calf in running onto the field.
Okay, yeah. 1 second, let's see.
Let's have a look at this. Oh. Well, it's heavily strapped.
Rotating. And injury
Harry
to
Cast
18.
and
Yeah.
Sochat.
She goes on the pitch. So you're
Come
staying
on.
Okay, time on. In
Clara
Italy,
Joyeux is going to have to play the full 80 here.
time off. Same message as France. I want you in and set before the line out, okay? In we get. Time on.
Gaia Lame also onto the field. Oh dear, that was not straight either.
Scrum.
Protestations from Italy.
Scrum.
Doesn't look good for De I, does it?
Dai raga, dai, andiamo. Non è un problema.
Girls, stability. Yep. Okay, she's fine. She's not involved. Crouch. Bind. Up and come. Okay, so there was no issues in the first half with free engage. New personnel, and we have an issue. Sort the space. There was no problems in the first half.
Okay.
New people.
Okay.
Now we have an issue.
Non abbiamo avuto problemi nella prima metà, adesso che sono cambiati
Get the
abbiamo
space
problemi.
right.
What do you think is the problem?
She needs to get her space.
Hai bisogno di prendere più spazio. Ok, thank you.
Yeah.
Cosa?
Okay.
Seconde! Stai indietro!
Crouch! Bind!
France with a few running repairs by the looks of things. This scrum is going down, and we currently have Nasira Condé on the deck receiving attention. It won't matter too much. France have the penalty.
Number 1 under pressure collapse.
Tirani, the one penalised by Holly Davidson. Jessie Tremouliere discovered rugby at the age of 16.
Okay, so the player in the backfield. Time off.
I think we are going to have a replacement now for Condé.
Yep.
And here we are. Camille Boudot. Enters the fray.
Okay. Time on.
Such a good job late on against England.
Okay, let's go.
Might not have converted those opportunities, but Boudot gave it absolutely everything. She's a decent weapon in that French midfield.
Maul.
So sharp. Finally, we have a line out that is straight. Italy need to learn the lessons of the try that was scored by Julian Henry and defend this one with a little bit more intellect, a little bit more awareness of where the ball is, but they're giving away the penalty already. Sansus with the dummy, the ball back inside. Did Ménager get it down? Oh, she didn't. Extraordinary defence.
Time off. Time's off.
Oh, well, look at this. Super work from Francesca Scorbini. Just comes in there, 21. Ensures that that ball is not getting to ground. It was a penalty anyway, but
Captain.
good effort. Now Giordano is going to have a word.
That's twice by number 18 when the maul is moving forward that she's changing her bind and side entry. Next one, no more.
Giordano is told that Sarah Tunesi
19,
is
side
walking a
entry.
fine line. Bourdon pops it into the corner. Expect more of the same from France.
Time off, girls. Subs. 1 second, time's off, okay?
More changes. I think it's Caroline Bouchard who is waiting to make her entrance.
15.
It's going to be Jessie Tremouliere who is relieved.
Okay, girls. In.
Brilliant performance from the pullback, 11 points from the boot. In the meantime, France go with the line out, and Holly Davidson is back on message. That wasn't straight, she says. Italy can get the scrum or line out call.
Scrum called on the 15 girls.
They go with the scrum. French coaching team are not too far away from our commentary position. Yeah, I'm not liking what they're seeing in terms of this set-piece execution.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Big shove from France, but it was nicely done from Italy. get it to the back. Giordano picks and gets away.
No, 12. Back.
Counter-ruck from NDI. Tunisi takes it. Communication to Rigoni under plenty of pressure, but good exit.
Touch.
Rigoni is down.
Thanks, Nicky. Thanks, Simon.
Just becoming a little bit
TMO's
stop-start
check. No
with
foul play.
the players going down, and
Time off. Yeah, it's fine.
it's the follow-through on Rigoni.
Good. Thank you. Okay, time's off. Number 12 for Italy. Okay. Number 12.
Beatrice Capomaggi is going to be replaced.
12.
Just wonder if there is anything in that challenge for Simon McDowell to take. Looks like it may just have been a committed player in the air.
Okay.
Difficult to pull out from that position.
Captain.
Trying to charge down the kick.
Captain. So.
Allez, changement pour l'équipe de France avec la sortie de la capitaine du numéro 4, Safi.
Hold her, Nicky. Hold her.
Madou Soufal
Okay.
enters the field for Italy.
Open. Open the gap. Time on.
There she is, just on your picture. Tall player, quite a unit.
Maul.
Sansus, Bourdon. Dummy runners go through. Perronnet decides there wasn't really an option, so she carries. Bourdon is there for Boudot. Whistles her way past the tackle of Solari. Sansus goes the same way.
Oh, sorry.
Banet loses her footing as she tries to cut back in field. Bourdon. Boudot once more. Manages to initially sit down Turani. Little ball back inside, but tackle was good. Magatti, I think it was, who came in forwards to make that tackle. Now the ball will bounce around. Who can get their hands on it? It's Italy who do so. Duca. Baratin sensing that France have got some recovering to do, and the ball bobbling around. Caroline Boujard takes it. Wants to try and dance herself away from the tackle of Benedetta Mancini, who has come onto the field, but Mancini was equal to the one-on-one. Just earning a second cap, Mancini. Made her debut against Scotland in November 2018, so quite a while since the first cap. Oh, and then the handling error. Boudot. A little uncharacteristic. Italy will have a scrum.
Yes. Okay. Shall do.
Just a little out in front of her, wasn't it?
Good scrum last time. Good. Last scrum. Same. Okay. Straight. Okay. Straight. Not up.
And the band played on, making a brilliant noise outside the front of the stadium for a good 2 hours before kickoff. I can assure you they had an excellent repertoire.
Crouch. Bind.
It's not a French rugby game if there isn't a band in the crowd. So what can Italy do from here? Baratin goes looking for the ball, plucks it away. Rigoni on her right. Arriving on a shorter line was Magatti.
Play on.
Penalty
You need to
France.
be on your feet to play that ball.
Bourdon rushes in to get hold of it. France are in no rush here.
Counter-ruck is legal. Player needs to be on her feet.
21-point lead. Bonus point in the bag. Boujard.
You're on the line.
Had a little bit of rain before the game kicked off, but it's actually been
Okay,
dry
Gordon, the line is
since.
yours, okay?
Certainly not the case with the wind and rain that's heading to the UK. Might make conditions quite interesting for the two games taking place on Sunday.
In we come.
Let's just hope they're able to go ahead safely as far as everyone is concerned. Annery taps it down. Sansus has to monitor it as it rolls back. Then it's there for Bourdon. Benefit of France 9 and 10. If one of them gets sucked in, there's another one to get in there and play it away. Ménager. Elmé. Bourdon. Ball back inside. Penalty, Italy.
Holding on.
Ménager who's looking up almost with a look of where were you all when I needed you. Italy doing a decent job to turn it over. Rigoni. Double hit on the tackle. Look who's in there. It was Maria Magatti, the winger.
That's you. Girls on your front, Claire. Thank you.
Plays on Rugby in Milan. Made her debut against France in 2014 in Blognac. Italy losing 29-0 that day. Down from Tirani.
Advantage high.
Wondered if it might be a high, viewed as a high shot, and it was.
Number 16.
Elmé trying to tidy it up, but Cerato just getting one of those seatbelt tackles, if anything. This is Boujard, almost stands with their back to the sideline.
Thank you. Perfect, thank you. Thanks.
Souchan. Good follow-up from Annery, wasn't it? Italy under so much pressure in possession the whole of this match. It's been something the French have done really well. And continue to drive them back. On the edge of their own 22 now, Italy. Rigoni. Got a little bit of width here if they want to try and use it. Well, that was nicely played from Scorbini. Rigoni wanting to show all the tricks. Incredible ball handler. Sophia Stefan has got caught up in there trying to get the ball away now. Manages to. Scorbini once more. Two of the French needed to bring her down. Giordano had the support on the shoulder. Rigoni's just having a stretch out, a bit of hamstring cramp. We'll leave this attack to go on without Stefan arriving in the scrum half roll. Oh, that's an area you don't often see from Caroline Boujard. Great competitor, Caroline Boujard, one of those who started in Padova last year, so we'll no doubt be very pleased to see France back on the right side of the scoreline in a match against Italy.
Yes. Okay. 14 white.
Playing in her 5th Six Nations. Banet. If you missed the chance to catch Cyrielle Banet's try in the first half, make sure you do. In fact, she is now going to be replaced. And it's going to be a debut. Marie-Aurélie Castel, 19 years old, from Stade Rennais. Sporting life began as a basketball player alongside a bit of classical dancing. Began rugby at college.
Same scrum again, okay? Time on.
French playing this season very much to a motto, hungry and humble, is the 2020 message for France Féminin.
Bind. Set.
Penalty to France. Still showing that hunger late into a game that they are in control of.
Okay.
Hermé first to her feet to applaud the effort. Boujard.
Lasers, okay?
Game's just losing a bit of fluency with the changes that have been coming, with the changes that have been made, I should say. France now with Sochat. Opportunity with first phase ball. They throw up the now skipper once more, Gaëlle Hermé, and then Marine Ménager coming in off the left wing. Sansus with Bourdon to her right. Then the long pass, that's behind Boudot, but she takes it brilliantly. And Boudot physically runs up 5-metre channel, 10-metre line in Italian territory. Madou Soufal. Italy stopped her well. Solari has shot out the line here. Needs to make the tackle on Hermé, which she does.
No.
I'm just in danger of leaving her teammates a little outnumbered, but this is Castel. First carry from her. France wanted to still come forward with Harry Cast. Bourdon, long pass, that was nice. Ménager taking it from Perronnet, but Italy getting in there again. In fact, France sealing it off. It's Agathe Sochat who's been penalised. If the ball is on the floor, there has to be the opportunity for both sides to compete at the ruck. And if you go straight off your feet and over the ball, you have sealed it off. And that is not allowed. That's the penalty. And Italy clear it for a line out just inside the French half.
Make sure the girls aren't going past the breakdown. Okay. Okay? Stay up. Perfect, thank you.
Cos'è dopo? Cosa devo fare io? Non so cosa è! Non so cosa è!
Tirani seemed to be wanting a clarification of what the call was, and in the meantime, France stole it from the front. They'll get the penalty as well. Italy not releasing. Sansus doesn't want to hang around, wants to up the tempo once more. Bourdon is chopped in half in the tackle. The ball goes backwards. Annery has it. Hermé momentarily isolated. It's there for Sansus. Little ball back in field to Annery. Annery breaks free of the tackle. Gets it up for Harry Cast. Oh, Giordano may have ripped that in the tackle. Whether she's managed to get it to ground and secure it, I'm not so sure. It will be France ball. Italian skipper momentarily. Nearly giving Italy the relief they needed, but
Okay. Okay.
looks uncomfortable on the ground.
Number 5. 5.
Thought it might just open up for Annery.
5. Stop and 10. Yeah. Okay, time off.
Di Giandomenico has decided that Valeria Fedrighi and Beatrice Rigoni have given all. Laura Paganini comes onto the field.
White ball. It's your mark here.
Michela Merlo is on as well. Big shove from the France scrum. Sansus, Bourdon, Boudot with the carry. Clear out was good when it was needed. Bourdon fires it long again. Marine Ménager, Sister Roman, was there to provide the protection. Fulani still toiling out there, still rumbling it towards the line. Not sure if they're going to be able to get it down, though. That's going to be the issue.
Scrum 5. Sorry.
They were still going forwards. They will get the scrum. Monique Hérault is just leaving her position high in the stands.
Same again, okay? Same scrum.
It's beginning to march towards the line, controlled by Ménager at the base, or is it going to be Sansus?
Time off.
Holly Davidson calls time off. Let's just have a listen.
Yes, Holly.
I want to see who grounded the ball first. So my on-field decision is a 22 dropout, but I want to see if White scored.
Well, Holly Davidson thinks that it may have been the ball over the line that is then touched down by
Dropout, we'll review now.
Thank you.
a blue hand, in which case it would be a 22. But just looking at that again, it may be that Sophia Stefan has gone in there to touch it down before it gets to the whitewash. This is a technical one. Ball not over the line yet there. If Italy roll that onto the line, then it's a 5-metre scrum. So what we need to see is whether it's over the line as Italy touch it down.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Holly, Simon. So blue does touch it down first, but blue is in an offside position.
Okay, so she's prevented a probable try being scored, so we're saying it's a penalty try and yellow card to 11 because she's offside.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, there
Okay,
you
so
are. The
captain
question mark is actually
and
around
11.
whether Sophia Stefan is onside, and that's what our
And number
TMO
11.
Simon McDowell has been able to
So
advise.
11 has grounded the ball first. However, she is in an offside position when she does it, which has prevented a probable try. So it's going to be a penalty try and a yellow card to number 11. Yeah. So 11, you're offside.
Will Italy go down to 14? Sophia Stefan will leave the field, and it's an instant 7 points for France. Well, it looked to be a score all day, didn't it, as that scrum was moving towards the line. Italy transgressing illegally to stop what was an inevitable score. That's why it's the penalty try. Stefan in the bin. France 38, Italy 10. Just a couple of minutes left in Limoges. Sansus, Bourdon. Marine Ménager, she's a Roman that time. Boudot. Boujard. Oh, that is not the tidiest from an Italian point of view. And now Marine Ménager is building up a head of steam down the far side. Marine Ménager to try and get all the way there. It's just stopped short. Sarah Baratin is asking questions here from the floor, but France will reload. 6 metres out. Boujard wants it. It's got an arm up nice and wide. Italian defence is going to be caught short here. It's whether the French forwards are going to allow it out there. Clara Joyeux, the one to carry. Sansus, Bourdon, Boudot. Well met by Magatti, who knew she had to be there to try and cut that down. And the ball goes forwards. Knock on, Italy possession.
First player. No knock on.
Oh, Baratin is saying there is, referee Davison saying there is no knock on. And now France have it. Well, looked like there was one from our point of view. Bourdon. Silari has got some recovery work to do to try and chase Ménager down, although she decides to cut back in field. Bourdon once more. Perronnet twisting and turning. Now there is a knock-on. Silari gets over it.
1 minute.
Use it!
Clearance kick. Leaves a little to be desired from Baratin. Fatigue showing itself in the last few minutes.
Thank you.
Oh, the long run over the top. But Italy managed to stop them short again.
On the line.
Sansus, plenty waiting for it. Madusu Fall wants to be the one to get over. Italy driver backwards. Bourdon clapping the hand. She wants it. Sansus goes herself and will score. She'd have had Bourdon in her ear if she hadn't. Great snipe from the French 9. Earning her 14th cap. Good strength and good reach. It will round off a positive night as far as France are concerned. Getting back to winning ways. Bourdon with the conversion. Holly Davidson with the full-time whistle. France beats Italy to give them their first win in the 2020 Women's Six Nations. It's retribution for their loss in Padova a year ago. They score 6 tries in the process in what has been a decent night's work at the Stade Blanc. For Italy, well, their first points, their first try in 10 years of playing France in France. But they didn't have enough for what was a particularly strong first half performance. The second half a little bittier, but no matter. France victorious by 45 points to 10. Smiles all round then on the faces of the French side. They were really unhappy, as you can understand, having lost a 5th straight match to England last week in Pau. Their fans will continue to turn out, there's no question of that, but they will do it with a bit more relish when they see their side victorious a little more often. Commiserations to Andrea Di Giandomenico's side. 1 win and 1 loss against their name now. But Six Nations round 2 will roll on. Scotland against England on Sunday, followed by Ireland against Wales. Those two sides looking for their first win in the competition as well. But it has been a solid performance from the French side. 45 points to 10 and 6 tries scored with the bonus point. Their 2020 campaign is on its way. From the Stade Blanc, a very good evening.